Hey everyone, a little backstory of how Wagner's Army came to be. There were several incarnations. The first being with none other than the current drummer of the Sheckies, Frank King. That's right, our first incarnation of Wagner's Army was back in '98 with me, Wagner, and King. We all jammed at what would become the Shecky Shed, the back of King's house. And it was there that Wagner's Army was born, eventually spawning one four-song demo called The Revenge, recorded in Louisiana. It was recorded there because King had moved to get married. We visited him and we recorded there. But with King moving, we had to find another Wagner's Army lineup. We had called it Wagner's Army back then sometimes. But nowadays we just call it Wagner's Army. Too much connection with skinheads and that kind of bullshit we don't want to be associated with. But anyway, to go on with this second incarnation. The second incarnation was with my old drummer Sandy from my first band, Abnormal Adolescence. Me, Sandy, Wagner, and my new friend, Private Dick on bass. This was not long lived at all. Many practice tapes still exist of that Wagner's Army lineup, but it wasn't until the third lineup of Wagner's Army happened that it started really getting its own flavor. And that was with me, Wagner, and the third drummer, Jimmy Hinkle, who still lives here to this day. He's the one I'm talking to now about getting the Wagner's Army reunion going. He's my choice pretty much of drummers, either him or Frank. My main choice of drummers for Wagner's Army, only because, well, Frank was in it in its infancy, and hell, he even made up the name. But Jimmy Hinkle and our songwriting when Jimmy Hinkle was around drumming was at its peak, I thought. And we did 3 tapes with Jimmy Hinkle. The second ever demo called Packaged and Reduced. The third demo ever was called Suck on This, which had wasn't even a demo, it had 24 songs on it. It was epic. After that, the fourth incarnation, and last incarnation of Wagner's Army would happen. And that was with me, Wagner, and Shane Problem on drums. And although I always considered Shane Problem superior at drumming, he just didn't do it like Hinkle. And unfortunately, Wagner and Shane clashed a lot too. Eventually, we would record with Shane on our 4th demo ever. We never really had a name for it, but there was about 24 songs recorded, or even about 30 songs recorded. It was the first thing we ever made and put on CD. And originally, Jimmy Hinkle was supposed to record with us, but I was young, and I did a stupid thing, and I didn't tell Jimmy Hinkle that Shane was playing drums. We kind of just didn't tell him anything at all. And we ended up just recording in secret with Shane. I guess in my young mind I thought, Jimmy Hinkle at the time, got his girlfriend pregnant. Oh, if he's pregnant, he can't go on tour with us. Blah, blah, blah. And I was just overanalyzing things. But to this day, I regret that decision, Jimmy Hinkle is a stand-up guy, and I would have stayed with him if I could do things again. Hey, if Hinkle's watching, if it makes you feel better in the past, I'm definitely sorry about that. But things were how they were, and that era of Wagner's Army was the last, but it wasn't without its fun too. Which is what brings us to this episode of Project Wagner's Army. My old buddy who used to hang out with us all the time and watch us jam, Brad, just got a hold of me not too long ago and texted me all these old photos of the session with Wagner's Army, Shane, me, and Wagner recording that fourth session. It was in Pennsylvania at a abandoned house recorded by the drummer Shane's cousin, Jeff Darr. He didn't do a bad job for a 2-day recording session, recording 30 songs. It was funny. I always remembered how we fed the microphone cable up through the roof by smashing the roof with sledgehammers. With this abandoned house being the energy was siphoned, anything went to get the job done. I never forget sleeping there for one night, all the cockroaches crawling all over us. It was pretty gritty and punk rocky thing to do. Anyway, half of these pictures are from that session, the recording session. The other half are a session where there's a photo session of when we were playing with Hinkle, although no of those photos of Hinkle's exist in this set, but it's us in our old practice space that we called it Tin Can 242. So you'll see a picture of me with a Band-Aid. That is because I had just freshly gotten beaten by a guitar, and I ended up having to get 13 stitches. That was before I had the stitches. It was pretty gnarly. It was punk rock, so we took pictures. Anyway, enjoy those photos. You'll see a young Wagner, Shane Problem, and me. You'll see me in my total glory. I'm like 150 pounds in these pictures. Yeah, gotta change that. But yeah, you'll see I was a girl slaying machine in these pictures. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the pictures. As for Project Wagner's Army, right now, I'm still trying to get that left-handed bass for Wagner. And of course, I'll give you some updates, hopefully very soon. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy the pics.
Fucking now!
Package and reduce, blow it out your ass again, go. That's just what we are. Package and reduce, to blow it out your ass. Wait, my mind, I'm some out. Society and wait, not anything else to blow it out your ass, motherfucker. Package and reduce, that's just what we are. Package and reduce, to blow it out your ass. Package and reduce, that's just what we are.